Hey there, RJB here, and I have returned to bring you part number 2 in this series between Rabbit and Mong. Yesterday, Mong forgot to get recall, and that led to his early demise. But today he gets another chance. He gets another chance to show us that he will not forget recall again, because he's playing Terran instead of Protoss. And of course, as Terran, you don't have to recall, so he really has a shot at this one, and he is an absolutely monstrous Terran player. Rabbit is a pretty good Protoss player himself. He's pretty good at Protoss. But can he live up to the challenge and defeat Mong's Terran? This match is from 2019, September 21st. This is part of a best of 5. Rabbit starts off with a pylon in the choke there because he has a very particular build order he likes to do, where he builds his gateways in the choke. He always has these small, well, I wouldn't say small, he basically has his own entire playstyle. He doesn't exactly do what the others do. He does the things Rabbit wants to do. He's built his entire playstyle around his very own specific needs and wants. Sometimes that playstyle comes down to cutting corners wherever he can. But, you know, he tends to make it work. Sometimes cutting the corners, sometimes he tries to cheat his little way through those small little windows of time, of opportunity, and it completely backfires and goes wrong. Like he tries to cut corners so badly that the opponent just completely destroys him because he is cutting corners. So that's kind of like the downside. It's kind of like a cheesy playstyle sometimes. But whenever cutting corners works out for him, or whenever he sticks to the foundations, the fundamentals, he is a very solid and strong player. Very strong and solid. He's a little bit slower than the rest, but he has amazing build orders and great timings and a great understanding of how to play the game and of what the opponent will do. But so does Mong. Mong is basically the same, but a little bit better. Just a little bit better. So very early scouting there with a Marine and an SCV. Probe there arriving in the base of Mong. Gets intercepted but still gets through. Might get taken down by this second Marine there though. Nope, it goes all the way in. Sees everything it needs to see. Nothing out of the ordinary going on there. And that is always reassuring when you're a Protoss. If everything is as it should be, you know exactly what to do. If the Terran is doing something he shouldn't be doing, now that is when you can start to worry. Because then you have to start adjusting or even improvising to deal with what the opponent is doing. And that counts for both races. Pretty good snipe there on the first Marine. The other Marines are making out alive. He's going to try to micro them to safety. He does so successfully, and Rabbit decides to pull back, but he still gets chased down. Takes quite some damage there on the Zealots, and an SCV here running about, fighting against some probes. SCVs are stronger than probes, deal 1 more damage and add a little bit more HP. Well, actually the same amount of damage, but a little bit more HP. Both have 5 damage. This one has 60 HP. Probes have 40 HP in total. So still producing with those 2 gateways. This is basically a 2 gateway Nexus build order. He just places the gateways there in the front instead of all the way in the back. It does expose the gateways to get taken down if the aggression completely fails and the Terran manages to break through and go for a counter-attack. Then the gateways do go down pretty quick, and that does make the Protoss a little bit weaker. The purpose is mostly just to reduce the distance of where they spawn to where they want to go, which is here in the choke. Fight on the middle there is still happening, but Mong is destroying these Zealots. Rabbit is running for his life. Got a cannon there on the way as the fortress just finished. Kills 6 Zealots there. He's gonna try to keep those Marines away, but Mong's reaction time and his micro with the Marines is on point. It is solid. It's gonna be very difficult for Rabbit to buy himself more time. Well, he has to go in now. He has to commit to the fight with more Marines arriving and have to forsake and let his Zealots die, basically, to buy himself time for the cannon to finish there in the back. The Marine micro here is really on point, but because Rabbit splits up his Zealots, Mong has to take care of the Zealots first. If he goes in for the attack, he might catch himself sandwiched by Zealots and a cannon. That's not what he wants. So he lets those Zealots slip by in the end. Gonna try to get the cannon down there in the top side, but it's a little bit too late, and there's no medics on the scene to help break through the cannon by keeping the Marines alive. So that's a done deal pretty much. You're just gonna have to sit back and wait. There's more cannons gonna come up and finish, and the Cybercore there Robotics also on the way there, and there he's going for Dark Templars or for Templar Storm. Because that's a very early Citadel of Badoo and a very early Templars Archive, and I don't see a second Robotics, and usually not seeing a second Robotics rules out the option of going for Shuttle Reaver. Shuttle Reaver would have been a real option if he hadn't lost that many Zealots, but the pressure from Mong here with the Marine Micro and the Marines on those Zealots and on the front here is forcing Rabbit to adjust and change his mind, change his game plan. Mong already has a starport, already has a factory, and is only just now halfway through with building his second command center. Mong is basically going for an all-in strategy, where he's going for a lot of early pressure, but then he will have less money coming into the bank right at about the 7 to 12 minute mark, because his second command center is so late. He is also not getting a third one. He's only going for one extra command center. There's not a lot of money going in, which means he has to use all his money that he has available to try and get something done with harming and maybe even killing Rabbit. But Rabbit has his own answer on the way in the form of 2 Dark Templars that are spawning and running right past the Marines. They're ignoring the Marines. He doesn't want to give away the fact that Dark Templars are on the way, but a turret is on the way there in the back. The scan has finished, so the Dark Templars are no longer that strong, but he might sneak in, he might maybe kill this here in the front, or is he just gonna walk straight past? Walk straight past for the SCVs there all the way in the back, but we have a fire bat drop also on the way to start killing those probes, and there's no cannons to be seen whatsoever. Now both players are trading workers for workers, basically. Dark Templars are splitting up because he's expecting the scan. The scan misses completely, and the Dark Templars stay alive, but there's the fire bat drop coming and arriving on the scene. Oh, Rabbit is gonna be in a world of hurt now as the fire bats are chasing down the probes and gonna kill the cannons first. Zealots and Reavers are moving to the top side to protect the probes, but the probes are facing so many fire bats, it is gonna be a very bad deal here for him. He's also still fighting here in the back, attacking the depot and a factory. So Mong is forced to defend. The fire bats eventually don't get a lot of... Oh, this one getting a lot of kills there, 7! You just gotta think about 12 kills there in the end, maybe even 13 or 14, so that is something. That is some results. Not a massive result, but he has slowed down Rabbit significantly. This Rabbit is now behind in worker count. Mong is losing a lot of his base here though. He's taking so much damage here. 2 depots down, factory forced to be lifted up and brought to safety. Turrets are slowly expanding and providing him with vision. He's waiting for another scan to finish. Dark Templar there in the front as well. Got a Reaver drop there also on the way, ready to snipe some SCVs. There's some Marines there ready to... Ooh, the Dark Templar went down. So now there's a real option to take down that shuttle with 2 Reavers. But there's still a Dark Templar on the other side of the base. Dark Templar number 3 there runs away. Rob is going to come in there. He's going to come in. There's not much protection here. Oh, Mong is moving to the bottom side, but he's focusing on the Dark Templar while the Reavers are arriving on the scene. But the Reaver cannot unload next to the SCVs because there's a lot of turrets there. He first has to push through the turrets. SCVs are unstacking, running away. His Scarab can't really connect, only kills about 3 or 4. Marines are now coming into the bottom side there. Scarab still connects with another one, and the Marines... Oh, the Reaver, the shuttle cannot escort the Reavers to safety. So the Reavers are forsaken in the end, and they do go down, but they did get... That's so many Marine kills. He got a lot of Marine kills there. So, yeah, Mong gets paid back. There's a little bit of payback there from Rabbit on Mong. But Rabbit is still behind with his worker count, as he once again lost a couple more workers while we were watching the fight here with the Dark Templars and the Reavers. He lost another 6 probes. So this game is just basically the same as the previous one, where the Terran keeps sneaking in and killing probes, buying himself a lot of time and slowing the Protoss down so much that the race against the clock is impossible to win. Now Rabbit does have a small little window here, a small little opportunity. If he can get these 2 storms from those 2 Templars to land on the SCVs, he can give himself an opportunity to get back in the lead. But he has to hit it. He has to hit the storm. And at the moment he's waiting here on the bottom side because he's trying to distract with the Dark Templar here on the other side to draw the Marines away. He comes in. He's encroaching, approaching on those SCVs. Oh, Templar unloads, Templar! Oh, he forgot the storm upgrade! Oh no, oh dear god. Ooh, good lord. This is pretty much... I just mentioned it, but this is pretty much a perfect repeat of the previous match, where it was Mong continuously and repeatedly not getting results and screwing up at crucial key moments. But now it's Rabbit who's screwing up and fucking up at crucial key moments. The small moments that could give him the lead, he didn't have what it takes. In this case, it didn't have the Storm upgrade. The previous match, it was the recall that Mong forgot to upgrade. But now he gets a piece of his own cake, as Rabbit forgets the Storm. And that is disastrous, because now the race against the clock is definitely lost. Mong is in the lead with workers and supply, which is something you never want the Terran to be. As the Protoss, you always want to be richer and bigger than the Terran. The moment the Terran becomes bigger than you and richer than you, things are starting to look bad. You are in trouble. And Rabbit most certainly is in a lot of trouble. Still does have some chances here to land some damage on those SCVs, get some storms down, maybe give himself a window back into the match. But look at the defense here. There's a lot of turrets, no vision up on the hill yet, but there's Marines in between as well, and bunkers to put Marines in. And Marines are, basically, more Marines are joining the bottom side of the base here than ever before. Also level 1 attack upgrade there on the Marines. The storms are coming in there. 1 storm, 2 storm. Oh, that's a lot of storms there. He gets some kills, gets about 21 worker kills in the end. Not as massive as he wanted it to be. Like, of course, he would have wanted to kill all the SCVs, but he only got about 21. Now, that is still 1/3 of the total of the SCVs that Mong had, so that's still a great hit. But given that Mong is already on 150 supply, it is not what he needed. He needed more. He needed a bigger storm drop. He needed more kills on his SCVs. And Mong knows that Rabbit didn't get the result that he wanted. That's why he's now breaking out through the front door, ready to strike and cut down Rabbit before Rabbit manages to become bigger. Now Rabbit is never going to become bigger than Mong, but Rabbit is going to become bigger than he currently is as time keeps going on. And Mong has a massive army of Marines and tanks, so why not just move out? Why not just go for it right now? Why not just solidify my lead and put the pressure onto Rabbit and make the game so hard for Rabbit that Rabbit cannot land storms or not counterattack or not grow as he intends to, and he intends to grow in peace. But peace has been taken from him, as he's now forced to defend with tanks here in the front ready to completely destroy the choke and open up a hole, open up a door, open up a window, whatever you want to call it, to break into the base and finish Rabbit off. Rabbit does have a drop there on the way from both sides at the same time. This one has 1 Templar in it. That 1 Templar might get a chance to storm. He storms and he gets some... Once again, he gets about 20 kills, maybe 15. I think it was about 15. There's not a storm drop here on the other side. They could also try to fly in. But I think Mong is just being a little bit more vigilant this time around. He's waiting for his opportunity. He's waiting for a moment when he's not forced to defend. He's really forced to make as many things as he can to defend himself. Ooh, the dark defensive matrix there, keeping the tank alive from the Reaver shot. That's great move there from Mong. Also very slowly crawling forward with the bunkers and the tanks in between. The 2 vessels there are doing such a huge job of making Dark Templars useless, but also providing defensive matrices on the units in the front, which is going to keep them alive. He's building a proxy gateway base here on the side, because there's not really any chance to keep building in his main base. Everything he builds in his main base might get taken down before he gets to use it, because the tanks are hammering away and blasting away the structures. Goes in for an attack in the front as his level 1 shield is finished. Not weapon, not armor, but shield. Storm's coming down on the tanks, but once again, defensive matrix keeps most of the tanks alive. Mong's so impressive here from Mong. Use of defensive matrix there to keep his units alive. Gonna put some tanks there up on the hill, just to solidify his position. Storm drop goes in on the bottom side here. Templar unloads. Templar get... The Templar doesn't get Storm a little bit too far away. All the SCVs there stay alive. He's got 48 of them. He didn't make any new SCVs after that Storm drop. He just kept on making units, using all of his money for the offensive, not using any money on anything else. He hasn't built any new structures. He's just using these 3 factories and those 7 barracks to completely dominate the game. Now, it is a bit dangerous here because, of course, Rabbit is building a lot of gateways on the side here, and once those gateways have produced all their zealots like Templars, and Dragoons, you can try to go for a flank attack on this mass army, but those tanks up on the hill are going to make that difficult for Rabbit to execute. Those tanks on the hill are great at keeping this little section of the map under Mong's control. Rabbit's going to try to unload some zealots up on the hill to clear out those tanks. It's something he definitely has to do. But the zealots get taken down instantly. The tanks also do go down in the end there though, but Mong's just going to put more tanks back up on the hill. Marines trying to get on those Reavers, but can't. Reavers do get a lot of kills there. Very nicely done. Keeps balling up his zealots on the top side. Snipes a Templar. That's a massive, massive hit. A Templar could have done so much damage, but now he gets a safer and better entrance into the base. All the zealots go down. Mass zealots is still on the side, but they have only level 1 shield. No armor, no weapon. And I don't know why he didn't go for the armor or the weapon upgrade, because that would have gotten him so much more. Goes in with the zealots, but the tank there up on the hill is completely screwing things up. And unloading the bunkers and stimming the Marines, such a great move there from Mong. You don't really see many players do that, but that's such a huge move. Stimming and putting them back in the bunkers gives them so much more damage and takes down units so much quicker than if you don't. Such a huge move there. So, in the end, the proxy gateway base there, not really getting the results that he wanted. He's also slowly crawling forward there with his tank. He's going to try to get a shot up on those probes, but he can't get too close. He can't get too close. He has to take down those cannons first. The Reavers there on the side still killing so many units. But I think combined they've got like 30 kills by now. Yeah, Mong is just completely dominating this one. He saw a window. He saw a chance to go for the attack. He was satisfied with his army size, satisfied with his income, satisfied with his base. He isn't going to sit around for 20 minutes and just get absolutely massive and big. He felt big enough already and just went for the attack. And the Marines here are doing such a huge job with the level 1 armor, level 2 weapon attack, and the tanks on 1-1, and Rabbit loses the game in 17 minutes. And you could argue that it's all because he forgot to upgrade his Storm. You could argue it's all because of that. And Mong completely dominates this match. It was close though. It was close at a couple moments in time. Because Rabbit almost got a lot of workers stormed to death, but it didn't work out. So yeah, Rabbit gets a piece of the same that Mong got last game. That means that the score is now a 1-1, with both players having 1 win, 1 loss. And that's it for today for part number 2 between Rabbit and Mong in this best of 5 series from September 21, 2019. Hope you enjoyed the match, and I hope to be seeing you once again tomorrow when I upload part number 3. Thank you for watching.